McMahon not in the lineup tonight. They asked Berube about that at practice, and he said, "Nah, it's not for sure. Like, I got to make some decisions tonight
So
before
right
the
now,
game
Blaze
starts."
is Domi and Aaron Crush.
Yeah, but I don't know what the decisions are. Maybe it's Nylander, but Nylander said he's good to go.
I think he's good to go.
So
yeah, they'll probably take out Michelli.
Oh, do you think they will?
Yeah.
Jelly, eh?
Yeah. I don't think he's getting his nose dirty enough. He's not getting into areas. He hasn't progressed like a Cowan or a Robertson right now, and I think he needs a night off.
What's really fun for this group is, Lawton is coming back probably this week. Lorentz is coming back probably this week. Nylander's back tonight. Real competition to stay in the lineup. And you're going to see guys like Bobby McMahon come out. Now, McMahon has 0 points in his last 8 games. And that's in a spot where they've put him up in the top 2 lines and said, this is your opportunity. I compared it in business. There's something called the Peter Principle, where everyone gets promoted up to a job where they're over or underqualified for, and that's where they stay. They did that with McMahon, AHL, NHL. They kept promoting him. And that top line, it's pretty clear he's not that guy, is he? He's not a 19, 20-minute-a-night forward. So now you can say, okay, we can correct that, which you can't do in business, and say, put him back down.
These skilled guys,
good parallel. I think.
Wherever they come from, and Michelli, you need power play, and that's where Cowan, they're hoping, will be another shot of confidence for him. But we said this even when we first heard about Michelli being traded. Where do you think Willie Nylander's coming off on a power play that you're going to go then and get some points here? You're going to have to score 15, 20 goals 5-on-5. And that ain't easy, right? You look at Austin, one of the best shooters in the world, and he just had his first 5-on-5 goal, did he not? Or
No, second.
Second?
Yeah.
Okay. It's hard.
Yeah.
And he's been one of the best at it. I think he had his 300th Saturday night, which is the most in history. But he's battling hard still. I mean, it's hard for these guys to come in and produce if you're not getting power play time.
Well,
and Robertson's battled too, and he's been managing 15 goals.
Do you want to hear what Berube has to say about McMahon? Because he talked about McMahon today at the morning skate, if you want to hear it. Or do you care?
Yeah,
Yeah?
I do care.
Okay, let's go to clip 8, please.
Well, for me, from Bobby, I saw early on, the player I wanted to see, I thought he was very aggressive, he was physical, winning his battles and doing things like that and getting scoring opportunities. I thought it's dipped off a little bit, so it's just about a mindset for me with him. He's playing a little too safe at times, and he needs to play more aggressively and do what we need to what we need out of him,
What's hard for McMahon is Berube has a clear picture of what he wants him to be, and then McMahon has a clear picture of what he's been, and they don't jive.
So the one thing
100%.
every time I think about McMahon is I go earlier, few years ago, to what he was before he came in to the Maple Leafs, and you knew him through your days, right?
No, he just played college hockey, and I'm familiar. I've read some stuff. That's all. Yep.
But the player that Berube's trying to turn him into, it doesn't come naturally to him. Is the one thing that I think you have stressed on our show.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, it's really hard.
Yeah.
It's really hard to get any levels of consistency, because sometimes guys are really good of getting out what you're asking for at the time. But when you don't pay attention to me, then I'm taking my foot off the gas pedal.
Yeah.
And that's what happens to McMahon. He has all the tools to go out and be this straight line, hard forechecker, lean on guys, break to the net, have two guys hanging over him and be a mule to get there. But doesn't want to do it all the time.
Yeah, I think it's clear that it's there for him and it's not who he naturally is. And so I do think that that's a tough contrast. What really stinks for him is when you have a coach that decides, the line in The Departed where he's like, there's guys who can be hit and there's guys who can't be hit. Now that there's not quite a guy who can't be hit. That's Bobby McMahon, but with scratching. It's like, this is a guy that Berube said, you can scratch him.
Yeah.
There's guys that are off limits. There's guys that we won't do it to. Bobby McMahon is unfortunately one of the guys eligible to be a whipping boy here for Berube, and he's just going to ride that roller coaster all year long. Keep the pedal down, to your point, Kip, or he's going to get the whipping. I don't know who else in this roster takes it like him. I don't think there's another name.
Robertson's been in and out.
Robertson does. But, yeah, Robertson's almost exclusively getting the whip. No,
Yeah.
all stick, no carrots for him.
Yeah.
McMahon at least gets some opportunity. But
In the back half of our show, Jody Shelley will join us, former National Hockey Leaguer, in town to call the Leaf Pen game on Amazon. In terms of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Did you want to talk about camp before we get to that? Or?
Yes, I do. Okay, before we get into Pittsburgh, and we will with Jody Shelley, David Camp has left the Toronto Maple Leafs. I didn't watch Saturday night. I was doing something else. Did Elliott speak of Camp on headlines?
yeah, he did. He spoke of him on headlines. There's a tweet, like a radio quote of someone talking about how the Leafs were still shopping Kemp and Robertson, something to that effect. And I retweeted it and basically said, I just don't understand the Kemp thing. This guy is an NHL center, good face-off man, PK. I think he's a hockey player. And then it was made clear from Elliott that Kemp has left the team.
And they've suspended him without pay.
Yeah, well, I think that's voluntary in his case. I think he left.
He did, but I think he's on notice that he's being suspended without pay.
Yeah.
And that makes no sense to me for a guy that's making $2.5 million and $2.5 million next year.
Yeah.
Now the Leafs aren't paying him, and I suppose the next move on his part is to have his contract terminated.
That's the talk, is that he is considering
Giving up $4 million.
Yeah, it's 2-4 this year and next. He's considering walking away from that. So
You
4
assume
point-
that he's got a little bit of money off this year, and then there's signing bonuses too. I'm sure that's involved in his last deal.
Sure.
The Leafs could ask for some of that back. It's like crazy.
So
why would you do that?
Well, here's I think a very important question. If you think that being in the American Hockey League at age, 31 or something like that, for the next 2 years, voids your chances of getting NHL contracts after that.
He's not staying there for 2 years.
You think
I agree with you. He's a serviceable player.
Yeah.
There's going to be a trade between now, March, off-season, draft, free agency, July 1st. There's going to be a window where the Leafs are going to do something, and the team may say, take 50% of a contract, and they're like, no, we'll give you Camp. Like, there's going to be opportunities for him. Don't give up the cash, buddy.
Yeah. I think part of what happened here with Camp and them was a misunderstanding, miscommunication, or just straight up not telling the guy.
Terminated.
I think he thought that he was getting called back up and not that he was getting
Which is fine. He's not. Okay? But you're going to give up $3.5 million to be terminated on the chance that another team signs you for $950. You ain't getting 2.5. You ain't getting 2. You're not even getting 1.5.
He must be really mad.
Yeah. I do think that he thought it was like they're going to move some people, whether
they
Young
tried.
Croc or Robertson,
They
and then
tried.
he'd be back and everything would
They did
be
try.
hunky-dory again. And then I think
And it's not out there.
he was getting increasingly upset.
So you stay patient.